What a sad time it is to be online. That makes sense? What a sad time it is to actually exist right now, where everything goes right out of the window because of an algorithm. Right? How y'all doing? I am starting to notice a trend, and it's getting on my tits. Indulge an old man, please, whilst he's ranting away. I come from the old school days of the internet. The idea of being able to host your own stuff online was cool, but you had to be really careful about what you posted because it's expensive. Bandwidth's expensive. Then a wonderful place called YouTube came into existence. It was one of the big ones like Blip TV and places like that. We don't speak of Blip. Blip didn't last long. YouTube became a thing and you could post all your videos for free. As long as you had an account, you could post for free. Upwards of 10 minutes, I think. And then they upped it to 15, and if you had a director account, you could post as long as you wanted. And it was standard def. Good times, right? Good times. And people posted anything and everything because they could. It was YouTube. It was you on the internet. Your videos. Your idea of like your show. It was about you and your interests and all this kind of stuff. Fast forward a bajillion years and in internet terms. And now all I hear is YouTubers, people on YouTube, telling other people on YouTube how to please an algorithm that they themselves don't understand. That they feel they have to be locked down to a specific kind of content or they won't please the algorithm and then people won't watch their videos and then people won't get paid. Wow! Now when I started, there was no getting paid. Especially not if you ran your own site. My God, you were doing that out of pocket. You didn't get paid. If you started anything on YouTube, if you posted anything on YouTube, you didn't get paid. Even if you had a lot of views, you didn't get paid. You didn't get... Well, some people do, I suppose. You didn't really get famous. I mean, famous back then was Boheme busting through like 50k. 50k was the biggest person on YouTube. Then you had like Geriatric and guys like that, you know. We had the first faux personality, was a Lonely Girl. And, oh man, video responses, and then you had the and then all of a sudden people realised they could make money. Like money came into it and people wanted to make videos to make money, they wanted to get famous. People got bigger and bigger. The idea of getting a plaque from YouTube was mental. Absolutely mental. Like you'd never heard of it. Like only the biggest of the biggest like people on YouTube would get a plaque. Now it's kind of pedestrian. There used to be a thing going around. People used to say it. If you haven't got up to 100,000 subscribers, and this is back in the early days, if you haven't got 100,000 subscribers, post anything. Post everything. You're still finding your feet. 100k was a big channel back in the day. Or you were an established channel at 100k. And this was coming from people who were maybe sat at 500k at the time. Right? So, not massive by today's standards, right? So I think this needs to be shifted. If you are under 100k, stop belly aching about the algorithm. The YouTube algorithm that filters content for people. You don't know how the algorithm works. I don't know how the algorithm works. You don't know how other people's minds work either. Sometimes people just don't want to watch. I'm a minority user in that I like people. I like content. I don't like people, but I like content about a person. I like the person behind the content, not so much the content itself. I'm one of the 1 to 10% of people who subscribe to a YouTube channel, and if you said, hey yo, I'm going to make a Twitch channel, as I say, I'm part of that 1 to 10% that will follow over to the new place. Because I'm interested in what the person is up to, what they're doing. I want to know what their point of view is. I'm interested in that kind of stuff. I am not interested in basically rebranded TV content. Like, I think that YouTube these days is so horribly overproduced, it's just not even interesting. If you're into making videos to make money and get famous, get off the platform. If that's the only reason you've got to be here, go away. But I say that as a minority user. I say that as the minority users are also the people who comment. The people who follow from place to place are also the people who comment. You could have 100,000 fucking subscribers and only maybe 10,000 plus comments or whatever. The number of people who subscribe versus the number of people who comment, usually significantly lower. I keep hearing it over and over and over again. I need to do this and this and this to please the algorithm. No one is watching my content. So? My views are dropping off. I need to figure out what it is that people come to my channel to watch. Why can't they just come to watch you? Example. Nihongo Gamer has just made a new channel with his first video being literally about this. He's made a dump channel, I guess. Just a random thoughts dumping channel, a vlogging channel. Kind of like what I do here. But this is the channel for me, right? I don't do multiple channels. There's an exception, there's a reason that I have other channels. Right? But he's made this other channel and he's doing this very thing. He's telling, I'm not knocking Nihongo Gamer at all. But he's basically saying to people like, when you make videos and people don't watch them, it kind of knocks your confidence because, you want to do it for the passion, but if no one's watching it, then it kind of dulls the passion a bit and you start trying to figure out why people are there, and you shouldn't use your big channel or your channel as a platform to spread your message or whatever because, maybe people came to you for this thing, but now you're posting about this thing, and now you're getting a fraction of the views you were getting before, and now your audience is split, and now the algorithm has no idea what the fuck it is that you're actually trying to do, and then everything catches fire, right? Over the years, he's posted about a lot of different stuff. I think when I first found Nihongo Gamer, it was back in the PlayStation Vita days, Vita TV days. It's a little console-ized PlayStation Vita. For your TV. Little box, plug it into your telly, play PlayStation video games. Really rad. I think I found him around that time. And since then he's done console reviews, car reviews at one point, or a car review, bicycle review, Japanese culture, Nintendo Switch, drawing tablets, various unboxings, fight sticks, all sorts, right? I don't watch every video Nihongo Gamer puts up. Right? I like Nihongo Gamer's content. I do. He says, you shouldn't really do that. You should probably maybe tailor more to one thing so that the algorithm can figure out what it is you want, because YouTube is now like television. You have a channel and that channel should only be one thing, or it's like a shop and it should only sell the one thing that you would want in that shop. So instead of it being like a bric-a-brac store, is like, you need to have a bit more focus. And I don't like that. It goes against all of the things that the old YouTubers were telling you to do, that the old YouTube was about. That he shouldn't have done the platform thing, the megaphone from the platform thing. But I like the megaphone from the platform thing. Again, I speak as a minority user. He would post about, I don't know, a fighting game, just a random fighting game. I like fighting games. Not all fighting games, but I like fighting games. And then, out of nowhere, bang! Drawing tablet. Not really into drawing tablets. But, there's a drawing tablet there. What's he doing? Oh, that's kind of cool. Drawing tablets come a long way. Didn't realise you could do that. Rad. Well, I might look into drawing tablets. And then I'll go and look for drawing tablets. That has happened before. Someone I know on YouTube has posted a completely out of the blue thing, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. I've done it too. I've spoken about games in the past, like Army of Two, a game that completely went under loads of people's radar. It's one of my favourite games, right? Spoke about it a lot. And then I have people coming back over the years going, you know what? Hadn't heard of Army of Two until I found you. And I absolutely love that series now. It's like, cool, you're welcome. I did the whole megaphone from the platform thing and people liked it. Many people see that stuff? No, but people got introduced to new stuff because they came to me for me and then found something new. I like that, right? Brad Colbo, I think that's how you pronounce his name, he does drawing tablet videos, okay? But I don't subscribe to Brad because I don't want my timeline spunk full of drawing tablet fucking videos. Right? I don't want it. If that's what Brad's going to do, I don't want to see it. He does drawing tutorials, tablet reviews, phone reviews from the perspective of an artist, software reviews, that kind of thing. But I know what Brad does, and I appreciate what Brad does, but I don't want to watch all of the things that Brad is advertising effectively, or reviewing. Same with like Jay's 2 Cents, Linus Tech Tips, Motherboards.org, Tech of Tomorrow, TLD, that was not TLD anymore, it was just Jonathan Morrison, MKBHD, I don't want to watch the things that I'm not likely to buy. Like, if I've just gone and bought a phone, I don't want my timeline chock full of things that I'm not going to buy. I don't want to watch a Linus Tech Tips video about a new processor that's come out that's 10% faster than the one that I already own because it's the yearly cycle. Or, oh mate, Nvidia have released a new... Who gives a shit? Obviously loads of people do, but that's not my kind of groove. But if I then feel like, you know what, my graphics card's a bit long in the tooth, I could really do with seeing what the market's like. Or if I fancy a drawing tablet, I will search for what I want, and I'm like, well, I trust Brad. I like what Brad does. Brad knows what he's talking about, because I've seen a few of Brad's things. Oh, Huion, I like the Huion 13. Oh, Brad's made a video. Click, watch Brad's video. Oh mate, I could do with a new graphics card. Oh fuck, what's the latest Nvidia thing? Linus Tech Tips. Click, go down the... Oh hey, fucking Nvidia have done the newest thing. I won't watch every video they put out. This is actually where my separate channels come from. Once upon a time, YouTube got really fucking hectic for me because I have a kind of all over their taste. Kind of like what you do with like your regular viewing habits. You got your anime, you got your documentaries, you got your sports, you got your this, you got your that. And you go to individual places. But when it's all stuck in your face, you kind of get choice paralysis. And so I would say, like, I had a channel, a YouTube channel, where all I subscribed to was like motorcycle content, car content, that kind of stuff. I had another channel where I only subscribed to music content, guitar reviews, cover songs, that kind of stuff, camera videos, and and so on and so forth. And then if I was like, you know what, I kind of maybe want to watch XYZ, I would switch my channel, and my subscription feed would be tailored to the thing that I'm after. And then the algorithm would feed me things that I may or may not like. See, I see YouTube kind of like a social circle. Hear me out. I know that sounds really stupid. What do you mean a social circle? Or like a friends group? If you have more than like 50 friends, 100 friends, something like that, you can't really have a quality, intimate relationship with those people. You can keep up with a few of them, but there's going to be a large chunk of them where things start to kind of drop off. You have, let's say you've got 20 friends, right? 20 good friends. You talk with those friends on a regular basis. You're like that. You know what's going on in their life. They know what's going on in your life. It's easy to, just get in contact with them. They've got time for you, you've got time for them. shit's like, you've got it all down, yeah? You're having a meaningful, quality relationship with these people. When you get more, you don't have time for all of those people. You just don't. If you're one of these nugs with hundreds of friends on Facebook or whatever, you are lying to yourself if you think they are really your friends. They're more like acquaintances. Too many people to have a meaningful relationship with. Same with YouTube. You start piling on those subscriptions, because my God, there's loads of channels out there. I'm going to sub to that one, I'm going to sub to that one, I'm going to sub to that one. Damn, that looked cool, I'm going to sub to that one. You can't watch all that content. You just can't. Even if it's people you like, you can't keep up with all of that content. So that's what the algorithm's for. Tailoring things based on what the algorithm thinks you like. Which realistically at the end of the day can be, and probably is, largely bullshit. Because what happens if you click a video that you didn't really like? But that's what it's there for. You can't know life YouTube every day. It's not the algorithm's fault. It's not even that your content may not be that interesting. It's just people have got other shit to do. About the whole clicking videos that you may not necessarily like, right? I watch the occasional YouTube video on my telly. I know, I'm weird. I don't really like Netflix and things like that because it's not very personal. Okay? Because, oh, look, here's a telly show about something you don't give a shit about and you can predict a mile. Seriously, if I can predict your content, get in the bin. Or a film with a trope in it from, I don't know, 1953, go away. If I can watch 10 minutes and I already know what's going to happen, not interested. My wife and I watched 2 films about that today. My son walked in, hadn't seen a thing about this film, oh yeah, that. And was like, oh yeah, really? He was right. Second film we watched, so, oh yeah, this is going to happen. Towards the end of the film, oh hey, look, that happened! Surprise! Shit. So I like to watch YouTube-y stuff. YouTube's a wonderful place for all the kind of content, but as I say, I don't necessarily subscribe to everyone. But I have a device with a touchy remote on it, right? And I go to click a thing, click the video, and all of a sudden it thinks I've pressed left. I've pressed left and clicked, and all of a sudden now I'm into something that I couldn't give a flying fuck about. Just because it turned up on the page, I've clicked it, I've now fed the algorithm, it was completely by accident, and now that kind of stuff's going to be tailored to me. It's fine, it's not ideal. It's just not ideal. As a minority user, I am not into heavily tailored content, heavily curated content. If you are going to keep producing what is effectively the same shit over and over and over again, I am not interested. You see, you found this thing that the algorithm likes and you stick to it and you go balls deep with it. If I ain't interested, I ain't watching it. Just not gonna watch it. It's not the algorithm's fault if I don't like what you're making or I don't like the thing that you're making the video about. Sometimes it works really well for people. I know some folks who made a very niche kind of content. Nintendo Switch comes out. And all of a sudden they focus on Nintendo Switch. Then their videos completely change. It's not so much about them and their hobbies. It is all marketing for Nintendo Switch. They got big on YouTube. I think they've got to 1 million subs plus. Now, won't say who, but they did. Great. But now I'm not interested in your content because you seem like a heavily scripted, disingenuous asshole. It's not even so much that it's not what I subscribe to them for. They're doing exactly what I'd be doing. Well, why would I watch that? I could be doing that myself. I saw the same thing with Steam Deck. The Hungry Gamer actually did it too, like started posting videos about Steam Deck. Because Steam Deck was the newest, coolest, big thing. Well, Steam Deck's like right there. Right? There's only so much, like, hey, this game runs on Steam Deck, that runs on Steam Deck, this is a cool thing to do with Steam Deck that I will watch before I go, dude, really? I've got a Steam Deck. You don't have to sell me the Steam Deck. I've got one. Most people have got one. Lots of people have got Steam Decks. You don't have to keep making videos about the Steam Deck. Yeah, but the Steam Deck is cool and it's new and that's what gets views. It's like, are you really going to tailor everything every time that the trend changes? You'll be changing all the time. What happens, as an example, Zabermore. Love Zaber, so this ain't a dig at Zaber, but Zaber has a channel called Vegas for Gaming. And it is a video editing channel teaching you about how to use Sony Vegas. Some pretty good stuff there. He's missed out some stuff that I use on a daily if I ever use Vegas, but or some of the kind of key features that I'd use if I use in Vegas, but you know, Zaber's got it covered. If you're a nug, you can watch his videos and you'd know how to use Vegas. What happens when the guy who makes Vegas for Gamers goes to Adobe Premiere? All your audience came to you for that one thing, that one niche selective thing that you picked out because that was the thing that you wanted to make videos on. Now you're not making videos on it anymore. Same thing that the Nihongo Gamers had issues with. He made videos about one thing, then interests changed, then he moved on to another thing. The audience for the old stuff isn't necessarily watching the new stuff. And then you're now trying to fight the algorithm again. Trying to make a heavily focused channel must be a nightmare. Because what happens when you get bored of that one thing? Do you switch to a thing that you don't necessarily know a fucking thing about? And then sound like a dickhead because you're just parroting keywords like everyone else? I don't know, I think I would rather make MISC stuff, because it's free to post this stuff, and what works, works. What doesn't work, doesn't work. It's not for everyone. And even if you do tailor to a specific audience, there's still going to be subsets of that audience too. You know, look at like anime or film. Some people like slice of life. Some people like horror. Some people like romantic comedy. You can't tailor to everyone. So do you then narrow the audience down further and further and further? I've got friends that have made random videos that seemed to stick. This is another comment we got on the Nihongo Gamer video. He put it on Twitter, the new channel. And this one chap made a video and it got popular. I say popular, like 7k views. I checked and it was like, well, now I'm stuck. Like, what do I do? This isn't the kind of video I wanted to make, but it's clearly popular. Do I change everything that I do to keep making this kind of content? No! But that's what people are doing because they're trying to appease an algorithm. They're desperately focused. They're trying to grow. They are so focused on numbers. It just doesn't seem fun to me. It's another one of those things like the daily vloggers that tried to be positive all the time and ended up having mental breakdowns because they were full of shit. Or the family vloggers that were trying to make out their lives were fucking perfect and then they had breakdowns, divorces, children got taken away. Like, oh my god. And one thing that made me chuckle today, it made me smile. Kizzy, right, is a fighting game player, a professional fighting game player. He streams fighting games, he makes videos about fighting games, he travels the world and plays fighting games. Today, he was streaming God of War Ragnarok. His viewership, low, for Kizzy. But you know what? I bet he was having a fucking blast all the same. Because he was doing something he wanted to do. If you're focused on the views, if you're focused on the subs, if you're focused on the money, you're going to stop having fun. You're going to stop being you, and you're going to become some generic cookie cutter asshole that no one really wants to watch anyway. I'm one of the weirdos. I shouldn't... I know that I've gone and said that people shouldn't tell people how to make YouTube or how to do this or how to do that. But I'm one of the minority guys that likes the minority viewer. I won't tailor to any one particular group or any one thing, even if it's popular, because I've made some of my closest friends from doing this, and they didn't come to me, like if you ask them, they didn't all come from the same thing. Some of them came from Raspberry Pi videos, some of them came from VR videos, some of them came from Army of Two videos, you know, and yet they were the people who, they were that very small percentage, the minority user that checks out all the different stuff and goes, oh, that's kind of cool, hey, that's kind of neat, what about that, wow, they're doing this thing. They came because they were interested in me and what I had to say and my family. Quite narcissistic of me to say so, you know, my ego is starting to swell, but they're great people. Some of these folks turned up at my wedding. I keep saying it, I've met some of my dearest friends through the minority users of YouTube. I hate saying that they're minority users, but they were. They're the most important to me. I don't care if I've got 7,000, 10,000, 100,000 views on a video. I give a damn about the people who are like, oh, hey man, how you doing? Look, some of these fuckers have got my fucking phone number. You know, and they call me up and they're like, hey man, how you doing? And it's like, yeah, I'm doing alright, what are you up to? And we, you know, sit and shoot the shit. We're having a conversation. They tell me about their life, I tell them about mine. Or they just watch mine and I'm like, oh, well, I'm doing this. So yeah, mate, I know, I sent it in the video. Oh, have you? I prefer the ultimate form of reality TV. I prefer the you in YouTube. The old YouTube guidebooks. YouTube had a little guidebook in the early days. Back in the old Bohem days and even back in the 100,000 subscriber days. It literally used to say, just fucking throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. Just keep making content, keep doing you. And then when you get, you know, 100,000 subscribers, maybe then figure out what it is you want to do. You've tried loads of stuff at this point. Right? Then do that. Interests change, people change. You can't just stick to one thing forever. You can't. You'll end up losing audience anyway. Viewers anyway. Just do what you want to do. Do you. Be you. Just another thing. For people who keep watching all these YouTube videos about gear and tech and how to become a better YouTuber, how do I get more stats? Do you know what they end up doing as well? Not only do they have a very cultivated, tailored personality, they get caught in gear traps. Gear traps! And it's ridiculous. It's not the gear that gets you the views, that gets you the subs. It's not the editing program that gets you the views. It's you and what you do. But you still see that, I need to have Adobe Premiere, otherwise I'm not going to get 100,000 subscribers. I need to buy a several £1,000 camera, otherwise I'm not going to get 100,000 subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers. Or I need to have the newest capture cards, and I can't really comment because I've got thousands of pounds worth of equipment for one thing or another. I've got fucking like 50 guitars in the house, not literally, but I've got like loads of guitars, audio interfaces, amplifiers. I've got microphones and lights and cameras and all sorts of stuff. I like tech, but none of this is to make big YouTube videos and make lots of money. Limitations breed creativity, right? Example, Dank Pods is a YouTube channel that was originally about fucking around with iPods, yeah? That stuff was made, or is being made, with an iPhone on a tripod, an iPad and a USB microphone. 1,000,000 subs. You don't need shit tons of gear to make YouTube videos, but people still think you do. My PC, I think the audio interface and my microphone cost more than my wife's entire PC. When she goes live, she still gets quite a few viewers. Sometimes she just streams directly off of her iPad, and she still gets a reasonable number of viewers. For a small streamer starting out, a lot of people get so hooked on the numbers, they completely forget it's about you. It's about you being you. Because people will stick around for you. The cool thing changes all the time. Your interests change all the time. Their interests change all the time. What do you do if you were making WoW videos back in the day and all of a sudden no one likes WoW anymore? You didn't honestly expect the people that you had subscribed to your day one to continue all the way to the end. You're going to have drop off at some point. Just do you. Stop trying to please an algorithm. Stop trying to figure out what other people want. Just make fucking videos and have a laugh. Otherwise you're going to run yourself into the ground. This is not a business unless it is a business. Unless you've got sponsors to please. If you don't have many subscribers, a bajillion viewers, staff to pay, or sponsors to please, don't worry about the algorithm. Just don't. Just do you. What about you? Is this a hint that I have to... Am I getting a bit too heated? Do I need to stop? I think we are just going round and round and round in circles, but... There's no point chasing the algorithm, trying to figure out the algorithm, because it's forever changing. What's hot today may not be tomorrow. What's okay today may not be tomorrow. It's like history. You never really know. But just do the thing. Don't change up all the time just to please the algorithm. It's funny actually, because I just got a notification from Technology Connections. Technology Connections makes videos about all different things in technology. How certain camera light measuring systems work, how your boiler works, electric cars, all sorts of bits. Same style of video, many different topics, but in November he's got a minimal effort policy. And you know what's crazy? The minimal effort video that I've just been watching, it's about a closed captioning system that mutes audio. It's a censoring system based on closed captioning. Wouldn't that be weird if your subtitles don't actually match up with the audio on screen like lots of things now, because we censor subtitles. But the video is just as good. It's just as good. And that's the minimal effort stuff. And if my point isn't entirely clear, speaking of Technology Connections, I don't need to watch a 40-minute video about closed captioning systems, heat exchangers, electric cars. I don't even fucking drive. But I do like the way that Technology Connections presents videos. So it's not about what the video is about, it's how it's presented. Leon Massey has made a video about jump arcs in video games. Don't need to watch a video about how characters go across the screen, mate. But I like the way that Leon presents videos. It's not what's in the video, it's how it's presented in a lot of cases. Mr. Beast, Asmongold, PewDiePie. No one has enough time to watch every single video those people put out. So some stuff just gets missed out. Doesn't mean it's bad content. It means you ain't got enough time. But yeah, because I am going round and round and round in circles, and I don't ever expect anyone to get to this point, I'm gonna call it done. I'm gonna go to bed. It just seems silly to me to watch people chase the algorithm, to complain about view counts and subscriber counts. I won't lie, man. Like, some people I follow, that's all they talk about. That's all they talk about. YouTube's dying, my channel's dying, viewership this, sub count that, algorithm everywhere. Just stop. No offense, but Chris Ware Digital, dude, you do it way too much. YouTube's always dying and has been for the last, like, 5 years. Just post what you like, have fun, and if stuff happens, it happens. Cool. That's just my take. I know it's not a very popular take. You should only start YouTube these days if you want to be rich and famous. And if you got a plan. But, yeah, you know. I will never be a big YouTuber. Ever. Because I'm not a YouTuber for a start. But I'll never be big on this platform. I'm not trying to. I don't tag things properly, if at all. I don't put things in the description. Like proper descriptions, if at all. And I also have the same thing where I can put up a completely jank video and all of a sudden it blows up. And you know what? I don't care. I'm not going to tailor things based on what blows up and what don't. Just going to keep going. I'm not going to worry about it. If I did, this channel would be nothing but VR and Steam Deck. And I've got more interest than that. I've got more things to do than that. But for the folks who do stick around, it's a pleasure. It's appreciated. And, yeah, fingers crossed I get to know all y'all too. I won't be getting married again anytime soon, so none of the new folks are going to be coming to the wedding. It's already happened. But, never know. See what the future brings. Fucking algorithms, my god. We recommend this, but that's shit. Yeah, but you watched that. No, I didn't. My wife watched that. But you should watch this. No, I fucking shouldn't. Get in the bin. I hope you're well. I'll see you all with a bit of luck in the next one. The camera's battery's about to run out, which is telling me I've been going on for way too long.